types, located across all of Mendocino County at farmers markets, festivals, and in-town locations. For our latest location and to join our pickup schedule, scott@pacific.net.
Hace que mi corazón baile, tan sencillo te amo, baby.
Good morning. You are listening to, did you hear it? Okay. Good morning. You're listening to the First 5 Mendocino Community Hour. I'm your host, Townley Saye. This is your monthly community connection to the people and programs building a stronger future for our youngest children and their families. First 5 Mendocino is all about supporting parents and caregivers in Mendocino County because we know that the biggest impact is made during the first 5 years in a child's life, and they will last a lifetime. So each month, we explore the 5 pillars of early childhood, health and wellness, early learning, parent education and support, trauma-informed care, and community advocacy. We hope that you stay with us to find resources, hear stories, and get inspired. Today I have the great privilege of being joined by Maria Fuentes. She's one of our Family Resource and Empowerment Program managers and directors, and she does a little bit of everything. She's a manager or director at title, but she does and acts as if so. Thank you for joining me, Maria.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
And so I would always like to ask, let the listeners know a little bit more about who's joining us on the program. And so if you could just tell the listeners a little bit more about yourself and how you came to the First 5 family, that'd be great.
Yes. So my name is Maria Fuentes, and I am a bilingual family consultant at Raise and Shine Family Resource and Empowerment Center.
Consultant is just like managing, trust me.
Yeah. It really is. I wear a lot of different hats at the FREC, which is what I'll say it instead of saying the big long title of Family Resource and Empowerment Center.
Yes.
But I am kind of like a first point person when clients walk in through the door, looking for different supports that we'll go into a little bit. But before I get into that, I do want to give a little bit of the background of how I came to being a part of the First 5 family.
Love that.
It started, about 11 years ago when
it's been a while, hasn't it?
Yes. Yeah. When I was a first time mom, looking for community, looking for more resources, I attended a playgroup. And it was here in Ukiah. My daughter was like 9 months old. So
she was little.
She was really small.
Little. Yeah.
She would, sit on my lap and watch the other children play. But it was such a saving grace for myself to be able to get out of the house, get in community, be with other parents, be around other families. And it was such a great time to learn, and just be around other people, who have the same values, same, family, around
parenting
me.
can be quite isolating, especially first-time parents with infants,
yes.
right?
Yeah, definitely. And it was like having to find a new kind of space to exist in, so with that, I started attending more, and the opportunity came to become an AmeriCorps.
Yeah, we used to have the AmeriCorps program. I miss that program.
Yeah. So what essentially it is, it's volunteers in your communities, and you get paid and you get a stipend. At that point, I was still in between of what do I want to study, what do I want to go back to school for.
Yeah.
So I saw it as a great opportunity to gain more experience, and that's where my journey started. With that, I started attending a few different trainings, and I found my love for early childhood education.
Yeah. It's I think that First Five has been such a wonderful doorway for so many advocates, especially early childhood advocates, to be able to walk through and find a place to put their passion, right? To be able to be like, I can actually actualize this passion in a way that it maybe looks different than out of the educational system or childcare providing system.
Yeah, exactly. Growing up, I always said I want to help people. That was what I wanted to do. I wanted to help people, and
you are.
And the default for me was to think about other different avenues of going through that, but through this, it made me realize just how important it is, and I wanted to give back what I experienced as a first-time mom going into that playgroup.
Yeah. So having that lived experience, I think, is so critical too. So just know what you needed and how that you can also then provide it, paying it forward, if you will.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think one of the greatest things that I, looking back at the playgroup, it's not so much just the facilitator and the parents interacting, but as much as it is the parents all interacting with each other. So you really start to have just this really great community that kind of understands what's going on, how, maybe the facilitator is a little bit busy right now, so how can we help this parent feel welcome? So I think that's one of the great things to see us as a facilitator of a playgroup, to see those kinds of roles being led as well by parents.
But peer leadership is really important.
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
Absolutely. And I know that, you mentioned Family Resource Center, and that's where you were going to the playgroup at the first time, right? Were you at the playgroup at the Family Resource Center? And, for those who are just tuning in, we had James Shields Spence Spence Shields. I never know how she hyphenates her last name, but she's the coordinator for all the Family Resource Centers in Mendocino County. And she was on our show earlier and talked about kind of a lot of the different things that Family Resource Centers provide. And the one that you originally went to was at the ARC out at Grace Hudson school grounds, and so that one was a really uniquely placed playgroup, what have you. And so there's been lots of iterations of how the Family Resource Center has kind of evolved. But now it's placed off of Talmadge, at our First Five offices, just adjacent to our First Five offices attached. And so we're lucky enough to have a space. It's called the Community Room, and we host our All Together playgroup there on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Can you speak more about that and how that has kind of evolved over time? Because I know that has been a process as well.
Yeah, definitely. So, what the playgroup that I used to attend was Mama y Yo. So that was a bilingual, playgroup, and it translates to mommy and me in English. But now we have our All Together playgroup, and that happens every Tuesday and Thursday from 9:30 a.m. to 11. It's a drop-in, so parents can drop in whenever they have time. And it's very, it's a space for parents to come. It's a space for children to attend. And the reason we call it All Together Playgroup is we want to focus on the inclusivity of children who have special needs, children who may have different abilities to also attend.
Yeah. It's a great socialization opportunity for them.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Yeah. And especially for those parents who might feel even more ostracized than just raising a neurotypical, which I hate that term, child or what have you. Yeah.
Yeah. And we had originally only had it on Tuesdays, but we opened up Thursdays as a neurodiversity friendly playgroup. So Thursdays, they're a little bit slower. We keep the lights down low. We don't put the music on as high. We also limit the amount of people who are in there just to make it a space that is friendly for folks and children who might have, the issues with the more overstimulating environment that children inevitably might have.
Yeah. So for those listeners who might be new parents and they might not understand like what a playgroup is it just a free-for-all? Like you just kind of come in and the kids just play? Like, can you talk a little bit more about maybe how the structure of the playgroup is to help new parents be like, kind of maybe what would a new parent kind of expect when they were bringing like maybe their toddler to the playgroup?
Yeah. So, when we start off, it's kind of like a free play. Mm-hmm. So, parents come in, children come in. We sometimes experience that children might be a little hesitant to play, but we always tell parents, it's a new environment. They're getting used to it. And, usually children are told, don't touch this, don't touch that, stay here. So it's definitely a new experience sometimes for parents to come in. But it's free play. We invite the children to come play. We definitely encourage parents to get down on their child's level and play with them as well. We also
I hadn't thought about that. It's a really good opportunity for parents to remember how to play, maybe.
Yeah. And, we get down on the ground, we play, we do some free play. We have a bunch of different toys. We have, open-ended play. And we just kind of go with the flow of what the children want to play with.
Yeah.
And sometimes you'll find different little spaces and groups of children playing together. And oftentimes that's something that a lot of parents who maybe they have a single child at home, it's that opportunity to start socializing with other children.
Sampling different groups and interests of play.
Yeah, definitely. And the different age groups as well.
I love that.
We often see the older children kind of explaining to the younger children how to play or
what the rules of the room are and that kind of stuff. Yeah.
And then we start doing a cleanup. And we involve all parents, all children to clean up, so we can get ready for snack. So we wash our hands, we, sit down on the table, we set the table with help from our, older toddlers, preschool age children. They help with setting down the plates and getting everyone a spoon. Again, just that shared leadership that,
I love that.
That we really want to encourage, and giving children that opportunity to, take on a role and feel like they're part of a group.
Oh, that's so great. And I think that, we've talked a lot about belonging, right?
Yeah.
And like finding your place amongst your peers and how to fit in. And this sounds like, just planting seeds of like how that belonging is kind of sprouted and fed and developed later on in their lives, having a sense of being a part of a group, as you said.
Exactly. Yeah. Like we all play a part in this. We all have our, expectations. And then we also have, opportunity to be a little silly and create connections with people that are outside of our, home environment.
And I think that those transitions are really hard for new parents, right? I think it's really hard for new parents to understand when their child is just about to be too tired from play to engage into another activity, to like really kind of cue into some of those signs of transition, or maybe even school, like having to help them learn the transitions that happen in a school setting, right? From transitioning from outside time to inside time. So I love that the playgroup has those loose structures as far as like starting to kind of like, prime that kind of expectation of when they go into more structured settings.
Yeah, definitely. And it's so funny that, you mentioned that because it reminds me of, once the children see me going to the kitchen area to start preparing the snack, they know what time it is. They know it is snack time and we need to start cleaning up. And, it starts that kind of cascading effect of, it's almost snack time. Let's start cleaning up. Let's start singing the cleanup song and getting ready for snack. And then after snack, we also have, different activities. We either sing some songs, we, read a book. Lately the children love, singing songs. So we'll do some songs in English and Spanish. Or we'll play with the parachute. It's just something to do, come back as a group.
Yep.
And then we say our goodbyes.
Yep.
And oftentimes, parents say, they might be afraid to come to the playgroup because then they say, oh, well, my child's not going to follow that, or, they're going to cry once we have to leave. But the thing is that children learn so much from their peers.
Yes.
That once they see everyone else is going to sit down, then they think, oh, I need to go sit down too. Or, and another comment that I get from a lot of parents is, wow, at home, they will not eat, XYZ,
right.
They won't eat bananas at home, or they won't eat yogurt at home, but here they eat it all up.
Yep.
And again, it's that, peer interaction. They're seeing their friends, they're seeing, their peers also eating it. So then they're feel more inclined to also try it out.
Yes, I love that. Because then they're like, okay, well, if they can do it, I can do it,
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. So for those listeners just tuning in, you're listening to the First 5 Mendocino Community Hour. Today we have the great privilege of talking to Maria Fuentes. She's a bilingual family consultant here at our Family Resource and Empowerment Center, based out of Ukiah. But that center really serves all of the county, especially with the family empowerment kind of supports that we provide for parents and advocacy around the educational choices that they might have. We've been talking about our All Together Play Group, which is something that our Family Resource Center has done, I don't know, about a year, 2? No, it's been 2 years now.
2 years,
Yeah, it's been 2 years. And consistently growing. We've expanded it from Tuesday to Thursday. Thursday being really kind of focused on helping children who might be a little more neurodivergent to have a little bit some time that was a little slower. You said, slower pace, and yeah, that's awesome. But we also wanted to kind of share about another program. It's called the Community Navigator Program. And, Maria, you mentioned, the All Together Play Group is really focused on inclusivity and really making sure that children with disabilities have access to resources. And so many people might not know what the Community Navigator Program is and how it's attached to our regional center and how it does serve not just children, but young adults and even adults who might be receiving regional center services. So I was wondering if you could talk a little bit more about that program and what that looks like for parents.
Yeah, definitely. So apart from being a family resource center, we're also a family resource and empowerment center. So that empowerment piece just means that we also work with parents and family members and caregivers who have a loved one with a disability. So the Community Navigator Program is a program that works with families who maybe you're not yet there. Maybe you're not yet a recipient, or you don't even know where to start to get any services. So the Community Navigator helps the parent navigate our local resources. They are a wealth of knowledge who know the things that are happening and the services that they might be.
I would say you are definitely a walking resource.
Yes.
If we don't have it, we'll find you where it is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's nice to sometimes speak with one person who can give you those direct phone numbers to, certain services. Not only is it for, regional center services. So, if someone has, a suspected, suspects that their child might have a disability,
or a delay
or just can use some extra services. They can speak with a community navigator and see about helping out with getting a referral to regional center and then walking them through that process of what does this look like?
Yeah.
What happens if you are denied?
Yep.
What other services might there be? As well as general services that, sometimes people aren't aware of. Things like, receiving, SNAP benefits or, connecting with their local libraries as well to get out and socialize, things like that sometimes come up for families. And it's just kind of like a whole, looking at the whole family of what else, could you maybe use some information on?
Because it's my understanding, and that even though you might be a regional center client, and so regional centers, for those listeners who may not even know what a regional center is, right? They're actually pretty unique because the Land Management Act, very much like First Fives, is only in California. And so it's a statewide kind of legislation that's put in place to support regional centers across the state. Each regional center, I think, is their own individual nonprofit. And they provide services for, people who are qualify for Lanterman Act, under the Lanterman Act. And so there's certain levels of disability and a combination of disability so that they can get ongoing services. And sometimes they'll qualify for a service, but they might not, they don't provide that service, right? So it's on that family to kind of find, I qualify for the service, but then how do I get connected to the service? And I think that's where our navigators really come into play to help people who are either, they qualify for regional center services, or they might not have been able to connect with like a speech therapist or an OT therapist or what have you. And so we can really help bridge that connection piece too.
Yeah. And, we find that a lot of our current clients for the Community Navigator program are Spanish speaking. So that's another great piece for the public to know, is that all of our Family Resource and Empowerment Center employees are bilingual. Yep. So we all speak English and Spanish. Yep. And just because it makes it that much harder.
Yeah, it does.
I mean, the language.
It's already difficult.
Yeah.
I mean, just in general, navigating services with a child, either atypical or typical, is difficult. It's just hard, right?
And it can be overwhelming. And one of the things that most parents, that I hear the most is, where do I even start?
Where do I start? Yeah, absolutely. And I think, that in and of itself, having an advocate, having someone in your corner to just say, let's just start here. Let's start slow, and we'll start building on what you might be able to receive. Maybe it just starts with, a WIC application, and maybe then it starts with CalWorks, or CalFresh or what have you. So I think it can just really be overwhelming. I know maybe our listeners don't know, but on First Five's website, we have what's called an eligibility wizard. And so you can write in like all your demographics and that kind of stuff, and it will populate a bunch of things that you potentially would be eligible for. But then it's on that person to reach out to that agency to then just whatever. So, I know that some people, or even you, use eligibility wizard to look and see like what they're eligible for. And then they start that process. Then like, okay, let's start this process of like starting these, applications or what have you.
Yeah.
Just make sure that they can receive those services that they're eligible to receive.
Exactly. And working with a community navigator, I think of it sometimes as like a big pile of yarn.
I like that analogy.
You're trying to look for the beginning of it or the end to start, getting like unweaving it and making sense of it. Yep. So that's what our community navigators essentially do is it's helping you see, okay, what is the most pressing matter right now? And what are the supplemental extra things that maybe we can look at once you are, able to handle that. Yes. We're not giving you that, do this and do that and call here and go here. Right. It's that, okay, what is our first, goal? What can we work on? Additionally, there are these extra things. Let me know if you want help with any of these things. I love that. A lot of it is that empower piece. Yes. The parents are ultimately number one. They know what's best for their family. And we don't want to scare them away and say, no, you need to do this. We're giving you the information. Please let me know voluntary. What direction you'd like to go in. Yeah.
So then if somebody's who's listening is thinking, oh my gosh, I could really benefit from that, or I know a family member or friend or community member that would really benefit from that, how would they go about referring or getting more information about the program?
Yeah, so they can call our Family Resource and Empowerment Center, and our phone number is 707-462-1233. Additionally, you can reach us at our email, raiseandshine@first5mendo.org, or you can go on our website, raiseandshine.org, and send us a message through there. I've had plenty of clients who come in just walking through the door looking for more information.
Yep.
And that's how they become a client. So our office hours open to the public are 9 to 3, Monday through Friday. So if you have any questions, please feel free to contact us in the many different ways. A phone call if you are out of the Ukiah area.
And, I know we mentioned that these services are provided throughout the whole county, not just Ukiah. So we have a navigator actually in Covelo too.
Yes.
Right? So do you want to talk a little bit about who she's serving down in Covelo?
Yes. So we have Debbie, who is our Covelo community navigator. So she works with a lot of the families who are in the Covelo area, just because it is their own services, and they have their own different limits and community there. Yeah. So she's definitely a wealth of knowledge of the things that are happening in that community. So we have Debbie on our team, and we're so happy.
So happy. And anybody listening, regardless of where you are in the county, please just give us a call at 707-462-1233. You can go to Raise and Shine. I know people always confuse it with Rise and Shine, but it's Raise and Shine, RAISE, and Shine, SHINE.org. You can also reach it through our First5Mendocino.org website. So any of those ways, and we can connect you with a navigator that's in your area, or, general services that might be in your area, or help you with the regional center application process. Anything else you want to talk about that program, or?
So with that program, it is for children of different ages. So it's not just, the 0 to 5,
right, exactly.
or the 0 to 3, which is the early start portion of it, but it goes up, to.
Yeah, this is across the lifeline.
Yes.
Yeah, as long as you are part of the regional center family. Yeah. Or eligibility piece. Yeah. And you mentioned early start. And I know that you maybe are, I always think that our listeners might get early start confused with early head start, which is the preschool program, or early preschool program. So, early start, if for those listeners, is a statewide interagency system that coordinates early intervention services for infants and toddlers, so that's 0 to 3. And this really aligns with our First 5 work with the 0 to 5, because, we are all about early prevention and intervention. Like, the sooner we can, assess if somebody's at risk of a disability or a developmental delay, the better off their health outcomes are going to be, or their connection, or what have you. An early start, though it's connected to regional centers, there's a lot of areas that there's a lot of ways that a child can receive early start services. And so I think that the playgroup is a lovely place, to kind of go and get socialized or what have you. Did you want to say anything more about early start, or how we kind of help them?
Yeah. So the early start program is another program that we work, very closely with. We often have referrals from them, or we send referrals to Early Start for any parents who might have any concerns about their child's development, whether that is, maybe they're not crawling yet, or maybe they're babbling, but they're not quite saying words yet. And we get those questions as definitely in our playgroup once parents start, seeing other children. But we always tell parents if they have any concerns, it's better to get it checked out. Yep. And then told, no, maybe not. Maybe there is no delay. Yeah. Then not knowing, then saying that, what if, or saying, well, what if, I'll wait until they're older. It's so important once they are in those ages, because there is so much growth.
There's so much growth. There's so many things happening.
Yes, there's so much happening that, if your child is eligible, they can be receiving services, and it just greatly improves. Another great thing is about our play group is that we also have early start teachers who sometimes stop by.
I love that.
So we have Erica Gatlin sometimes join in, and she works directly with children in the early start program. And, you know, she's just another great person who has so much knowledge and teaches us and, you know, teaches the children and plays with them. And, it's just, there's so many great adults that, also can teach the other, parents on how do we, you know, enunciate things or make things fun when we're playing to encourage that, kind of back and forth communication, or how can we, be a little bit more imaginative while we're playing with this scarf. So it's just, again, you know, we really appreciate, our partners who, encourage parents to attend our playgroup, as well as, you know, sometimes drop in to drop some knowledge.
Oh, I love knowledge drops. Absolutely love them.
Yeah.
And so, for those who are just tuning into listening, you're listening to the First 5 Mendocino Community Hour. You're listening to Townley and Maria just talk about some of our programs that we have. We reviewed the community navigation program as well as Early Start. Both of these programs are put in place to assist families and caregivers who are seeking extra supports for any kind of either delay or disability. But also it's just like great having just someone in your corner to talk to, you know. With Early Start, I know that many parents are taking their kids to the pediatrician and getting kind of developmental screenings, right? Those ages and stages questionnaire, they're called, or the ASQ, or and there's a variety of developmental screenings out there. But those screenings are really important because they help identify if a child is kind of on the cusp or delayed in any way, and then they can start that Early Start referral. But I think a lot of the times, you know, it might be scary for a parent to think that their child's maybe not developing in a way that is typical. And I think that it's really important to understand that, you know, parents or children develop at all different rates. And some kids walk early, some kids talk early and what have you. And so just knowing what the spectrum of development is, I think is really helpful for parents. And it's that spectrum that those screenings can actually determine, like, oh, okay, they're within the range, or they're actually just on the cusp of not making that large motor development. And because our biology is so based on use dependent, right? Like repetitive and use and, you know, doing it over and over. It's important that just becoming aware of the importance of what those screenings are doing and how support is just right around the corner.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, just removing a lot of that's the scariness about that, you know? I mean,
yeah.
I think parenting is the work of worry, I always hear, and it definitely is for me.
Yeah, and just, you know, feeling comfortable enough to have those conversations and feeling like you have someone, like you said, in your corner to support that. And that actually, reminds me of an upcoming program, that we have this Saturday, which is our SIP Shop workshop.
Oh, tell me more about that.
So our SIP Shop is another program that, again, we're thinking of the whole family.
Yes.
So SIP Shop is for siblings who have a sibling with a disability. So siblings are able to come and be around other siblings. So this is for ages 8 to 12. And we really focus on creating those peer-to-peer kind of connections between siblings so they can share information or just sharing experiences of what it is to be a sibling of someone with a disability.
To have a sibling with a disability, yeah. And to really normalize that, right?
Yes, exactly.
Like, it's okay, like, there's no shame involved. They can talk to somebody else who might have a sibling who's going through a similar thing and get cues maybe on how to support or.
Yeah. And it happens in a very kind of low stakes, environment. We set up a lot of really fun activities. We'll play games. We have crafts. We have some fun group activities that we do. And during those times is when we kind of facilitate some of those conversations. Things that have come up are, how do you talk to a new friend about, having a sibling with a disability? Things like, what are things that you celebrate? What are things that, make it hard for you to talk about? And all of those conversations and really normalizing it, just because every sibling is going to have different, experiences with growing up and having a sibling with a disability. So it really just normalizes and creates space for these children to open up and be around others.
Again, going back to that idea of belonging, right? Like really planting seeds of belonging, and there's several different communities, and it can be quite ostracizing. I remember in one of my parenting groups years and years ago, I had a parent whose brother had a severe disability, and it was really ostracizing for him because he didn't have friends who understood the supports. He didn't himself have a disability, but he had a hard time with making friends because he didn't have any friends that understood like what he was going through, or how, having siblings that played differently or what have you, So I think that, having that sense of belonging and knowing that other siblings or other kids are going through the same thing and have, someone in the family that has just a little bit of different supports that are needed.
Yeah, exactly. And it really, it is always so interesting and great to hear the stories of these children, just explaining things of, I just kind of explain it in a matter of fact, but others might say, well, I maybe don't say that until they have to come to my house. And, just that normalizing of the different experiences that everyone has is so, it can be eye-opening. Yeah. For a lot of these children to say, oh, maybe I've been going about this wrong. Having those realizations. So again, it's just a really great, space. We have a really great group of children who attend, they've been coming for the last year now. We're always open and looking for more children who want to attend. So it is, we have it every other month on a Saturday. So our next SIP shop is this Saturday from 10 to 1 p.m. And we again do crafts. We do, activities. We send them home with lunch.
Now, do parents need to register for that, or can they just drop in?
So we do ask that parents register. So, you can find that on our Eventbrite, or you can call and get more information, and we can get, them registered for the, SIP shop. Great.
Again, for those who are interested in the SIP shop, you can just call 707-462-1233, and those are held in person at our Ukiah office. And we're doing kind of something fun in August too. We do this like maybe once a year. We've been doing it once a year. And this is going to be kind of a really fun event. We're doing an ice cream social at our offices, that will be featuring the community room on August 3rd. We'll probably be setting up around noon, but come around 12:31 if you want to come with your kid and, or if you're a partner and you want to just kind of come and check out the community room. We'll have ice cream. You can get it in a cone or a cup. We also have non-dairy options and lots of toppings and that kind of stuff. And we just do it in the parking lot at our offices in Ukiah, which is 419 Talmadge Road. It's in the very back of the business lot. You can just follow the flags. So again, that's 419 Talmadge Road. At the very end of the suites. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to have some more painting. We have some canvases, and we would really like to decorate the community room, with artwork. Do you want to talk more about that?
Yeah.
I'm super excited about it.
Yes. And I'm super excited about it as well. Our last, ice cream social, we, were kind of showing off our amazing mural.
Yes.
That we have painted in there.
By another local artist.
bilingual artist.
And early start provider, isn't she?
Yes.
Yeah.
So she works with children with disabilities.
Yeah.
Melody Ulrich. So she painted this beautiful mural on our wall. And we were at our last ice cream social, we had the children come and they put their handprints right under it. And it's just been so great. The children who come in, say, oh, that's my handprint. And it's just been so much fun. So we're doing something similar. So we are going to be having just some art for the children to create some fun art pieces that we can put up into our community room to, again, showcase art, showcase the community, showcase that togetherness and that in a way that is open to the community. So even if you have not attended any of our programs before, it's the time to come check out the space,
come look at the space. Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
Have some ice cream.
And have some ice cream.
I'll have to see if I can find the bubble machine. We usually put the bubble machine up so there's bubbles in the parking lot. And
yeah, and it's very just kind of, come as you are and
absolutely.
Enjoy some ice cream.
Yeah.
Make a little art.
Make a little art. Eat a little ice cream, grab a book from our book library. We have a little lending, public little lending library. They got books and windmills out there. So, we try to make it fun a little bit, right?
Yeah, exactly. And we have so much to offer.
Yeah.
So it's just a space for families to
absolutely,
come.
Absolutely. Great. I'm really excited about the ice cream social. I think it's always fun. Our service, the maintenance guys who maintenance the business park, we always make sure that they are aware that they can come and get ice cream and they're the first ones there,
Yeah.
So I'm really excited about that. So for all of those listeners, feel free to stop by our offices at 419 Talmadge Road in Ukiah on August 3rd. We'll be serving ice cream for about 12:30 to 3. Just come on by. Do a little bit of canvas art with our staff. Feel free to walk through our offices and the community room just to kind of check out what we are all about. I think that's really fun. Yeah. So for those of you who are just tuning in, we've been talking with Maria Fuentes, who is a bilingual family consultant with our Family Resource and Empowerment Center. We can talk more about the empowerment part too. Yeah. Schools and IEPs. And we've just been talking about our programs. We've talked about the Community Navigator program that helps families and individuals navigate services that they may qualify for with Regional Center, and educational places. We've talked a little bit about our Early Start program. Now, both of those programs are self-referral. Right? So they're both self-referral. If you have, we get referrals from pediatricians who might do a developmental screening and they refer, and then we help them get early start services as well. But anybody can self-refer into any of these courses or any of these programs. And I think it's important to note that these are completely free. These are your tax dollars. Really, these are your tax dollars at work, right?
Yeah.
We are public servants, and so we just really want to make sure that families have access to these services. So I think that that's important to note too.
Yes. Yeah. I completely agree. Oftentimes I'll help out families and they will say, okay, how much do I owe you? And I say, no, nothing. It's completely free. We are here to serve the community.
Yep. These are your tax dollars. So we are happy to make sure that you have access to them. And then, the other kind of program and a lot of these programs are very similar, right? So they have some kind of intersectionality pieces as far as they're around making sure that parents are empowered, making sure that parents are aware of what their child's needs are and how to get those needs. And then we're here to navigate towards those needs. And those needs might look differently. Early Start really focuses on that 0 to 3 area, really hyper focus on that, that's that section of time in a child's life, where Community Navigator kind of expands that into really be specific with regional center services and generic services that are in the community. And then our Family Empowerment Center is really making sure that parents understand how to advocate for their child, and to make sure that they have any school supports. So, an individualized education plan, it's called, or an IEP, if you've heard of that, or any other supports that they might qualify for at school. Because, there's a variety of supports that are needed sometimes to make sure that student success happens consistently. So did you want to talk a little bit more about that?
Yes. So we do also help out and assist parents with that process. Sometimes parents don't.
It can be quite daunting sometimes.
It can.
Yeah.
There are certain ways that you have to go about the process. Just requesting it verbally isn't sometimes enough. You have to sign and submit a letter for an evaluation at the school office, and then they have a certain amount of days. So it's just a process that can quickly become very jumbled or maybe fall through the cracks. So again, working with a bilingual family consultant can help you kind of understand that process, walk you through those pieces, check up on you and say, hey, have you heard back from the school yet? And things like that. Just because, again, it can be a really long process. It can be a process where maybe parents feel like they're not being heard or taken
seriously. Especially for those parents who might be like Spanish monolingual or something like that, right?
Yeah, exactly. Again, just bringing up that language piece of, and that cultural piece of, no, I don't even want to ask for help because others are going to know about it.
Absolutely.
So working with a bilingual family consultant can often help kind of break down those pieces and go into that.
Break down the stigma. And,
yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think asking for help is we have this false belief that we're supposed to be hyper independent and do everything on our own, and again, like it flies in the face of the biological need that we have, again, to belong and to be a part of a community, right? So there's this, how do we become a part of a community if we're constantly fighting and striving for independence? And so I think finding that healthy balance is always, we want parents to feel empowered to be able to navigate things on their own because they're educated and they know the rules and the process. But that process and education happens within a community setting.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I think one of the biggest things for me out of that is just providing the support and again, that option and saying, this is your option. Let me know how I can help with this.
Yeah.
And sometimes we have parents who say, well, maybe not right now. And they come back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Again, where it's that empowerment piece of we're giving the information, and it is up to the parent to decide when to take that on.
Yeah, we are not the experts of your child. You are the experts of your child.
Exactly. Yes.
Yes. Another reason why I think that having programs that are totally free, it loses all those ties of expectation, and we work with the willing. Like if you're willing to work with us, we're willing to work with you, kind of a thing. Yeah. Yeah. So I know we talked about a couple of things coming up, and for those listeners who maybe have missed it, can you talk more about the date of the SIP shop? That's this Saturday.
Yes, this Saturday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m.
So this Saturday from 10 to 1. And where is that going to be at?
And that is at our Talmadge location. So 419 Talmadge Road, Suite M.
Suite M that's our community room.
Our community room.
Drive all the way back.
Yes.
Just drive all the way to the end of the
Yes. And for anyone who is wanting more information, that SIP shop is for children who are aged 8 to 12 who have a sibling with a disability. For more information, you can contact our office and get the flyer. You can also look on Eventbrite, and look for that information. Again, our phone number is 707-462-1233. We always have our website information and our socials also on our website, raiseandshine.org.
You can find us on Facebook. Find us on Instagram. We don't do TikTok because I don't think we're cool enough. I don't know how to do TikTok. I don't know how to do TikTok. And just to remind people, everything is self-referred. There's not anything that we offer at First Five or the Raise and Shine Family Empowerment Center that is closed. That you may not qualify for one program, but you're always going to find some kind of supports to get into another program or what have you. We partner with a lot of people in the community. We partner with Tapestry, with Redwood Community Services, with the Youth Project and all of the family resource centers that are in the community. We cross referral and just help people find what they need.
Yeah, exactly.
And we hope to see you at our ice cream social, which will be, August 3rd from 12:30. I'm going to say 12 to 12:30 because we need about half an hour to set up.
Yeah.
But you can find us again at our Talmadge office. That's 419 Talmadge Road in Ukiah from 12:30 to 3. We'll be serving up ice cream and painting murals and creating some art for our community room that's really, children based. I think parents could probably paint something if they wanted to.
Yeah,
I paint
definitely.
like a child. Does that count?
It does. One of the things that I have found too is that parents love that invitation to play. You know, sometimes parents feel like they need that, oh, well, let me help my child. But then, you find yourself as a parent, begin to take over. So again, it's that invitation to play, painting, invitation to be creative. I myself am a parent. I have 2 children. I spoke a little bit about how I started coming into the playgroup when my daughter was a child or a baby. She's now 12.
Oh my gosh. I love that. I think that, it's really funny because we have another staff member who, when she got hired, her child was 3 and is now going into high school. And it's just like so wonderful to have like that longevity and to be able to see like your son and your daughter like in the office, and we were holding your son like at another party with, this other staff's son, and just like, having like these little first 5 babies. And one of our staff is actually out on maternity leave right now, and we'll have another little infant in the office. And just to see these generation of children growing up with really supportive parents, and also being really connected to community resources. I think that that's the best investment in our community that we can give.
Yeah. Like my daughter, my 12-year-old daughter, she sometimes comes into the playgroup to help out. Just to get that experience of being around children. And we have one, family who comes to the playgroup who her older children used to come to the playgroup as well. And her, oldest daughter just graduated high school.
Oh my gosh, isn't that crazy?
She used to attend the playgroup, and it's so great to see her older children, also still attending the playgroup with the youngest. So it's just creating those connections and, familiar faces out in the community. If you see us at the playgroup, if you see us tabling at event locally, or just shopping in the grocery store, feel free to say hi to us.
Feel free to say hi. We like to see our people.
Or stopping by the happiest moments that I have are when families stop by and they say, "Hey, remember me?"
Yes.
And then they give you that big update of all of this things.
Yes.
And, my child's in school now. Those moments, just really fill my heart.
I think, you mentioned, just that whole full circle. And when I was doing teaching parenting classes, it's like a decade ago, right? Before I was in this position and just teaching parenting classes and all, it was just tons and tons of parenting classes. I went to an event and this parent walked up to me and said, "Oh, I took your parenting class and now I'm a teacher." Like, it really inspired me to like go and just do into education. And so it just expanded beyond her own parenting and just kind of like reopened like an awareness of like what else she wanted to do. And I don't think it was because of my parenting class. I think it was because parenting classes were available in our community that she had access to take them, right? So I hear that again and again from a lot of parenting facilitators who have, served the community over the years. And so I know that you teach parenting as well. Like, you've done some parenting classes too. Like, that's just part of the many hats that you wear. So I think that there's lots of opportunities for families to just see us out in the community, have access to our programs. And so, so again, I know we're winding down. We have about 5 more minutes left on our program. And so again, you've been listening to the First 5 Mendocino Community Hour. And we've talked about our community navigation program. We've talked a little bit about our early start. We've talked about our family empowerment program. And then, one last thing that we really need to promote is our Imagination Library. I just want to give a plug for that. Thank you for all the reminders to plug all of our different programs. And so the Dolly Parton Imagination Library program is a free book program for any child who lives in Mendocino County. And so you can go on to Imagination Library's website and just put in your zip code. And if it's a Mendocino zip code, it will spout you out a form that you can just put your information into. We receive that, and then we register your child into the program. It does take about 6 to 8 weeks after registration, just because we enroll kids like once a month. So for children to start getting books into their own home, I absolutely love that we have that program back in our community.
I absolutely love the Dolly Parton Imagination Library program. And I have so many parents say that their children look forward to getting their book in the mail.
And I think when
month.
a child's attached emotionally to their own literacy, that's when really school success takes off. And that's really when literacy takes off, right? It helps combat that screen addiction we're seeing in so many children. But I think having a book come in and that child can read their name on their book, and it gives them a sense of ownership about, like, you know, their own reading and sharing it and that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And in California, there is the option to receive 4 books a year that are bilingual English and Spanish as well.
Yeah.
So that is another added bonus.
And that's the bilingual ones, but parents can choose all Spanish or all English too. Yeah. So then they also get a bilingual book too. So I love that. Yeah. So you can choose all English or all Spanish. So thank you for that plug. The reminder of yet another program that we offer for free. And that's also for free. We really want schools to the school districts support paying or helping support that program. Fort Bragg is a huge support. They pay for all of their kids who are registered, and the Fort Bragg zip code, they support all their kids to be enrolled in Imagination Library, which I just love. So big shout out to that. So we talked about Early Start. And we talked about community navigation. We talked about Family Empowerment Center. We've talked about how all of these in the Imagination Library, they're all free programs. And you can self-refer into all of them. And you can go to first5mendocino.org. That's first, all spelled out, FIRST, the number 5, and Mendocino.org, and learn about all the different programs. And you can connect to raiseandshine.org, and our phone number there. The Raise and Shine phone number is 462-1233. I love that anybody who answers that phone is going to be bilingual. So Spanish speaking, English speaking can just call, and we will be able to help you and navigate. Anything else you want to leave our listeners with? We have sip shops coming up this Saturday. What time was that, from 1 to?
Sip shop from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m.
10 to 1. And then, the ice cream social. Something's happening at 3 o'clock. The ice cream social on August 3rd, and that'll be from 12:30 to 3. All of those activities happen at our 419 Talmadge Road, office. And is there anything else that you want listeners to know before we have to sign out, and we'll start music and let everyone
I think the final message that I want all families to remember is we're all a community here.
Yes.
We're open. Our doors are open for anyone looking for any type of assistance. If we don't have it, we will find it.
Absolutely.
And it's, that's the way that we want to help each other.
Where there's a will, there's a way. And we definitely want to make sure the families know that they have support in the community and they don't have to look too far. So give us a call, First 5 Mendocino, Raise and Shine Family Empowerment Center. And we're going to just sign off. And thank you so much for joining us today, Maria. I really enjoyed chatting with you about all the programs and the supports you offer the community, and how lucky our families are to have you working for us. So thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
It feels like you were sent from God. Hoy otro planeta, una energía especial. Gracias universo, tú eres mi Big Bang. Que contigo todo lo que vivo, mi amor, se siente bonito. Ven que te lo canto, ven que te lo explico. Te tengo corazón adentro, hoy te pienso más que nunca, quiero estar contigo, estoy contento. Corazón adentro, gracias a ti.
planetas se alineen para que todo sea perfecto. La luna y el sol es algo que yo siento. Ni Mercurio retrógrado puede parar con esto. Yo ya sabía, estaba esperando el día que conectamos y qué nivel de sincronía, telepatía. Sin hablarlo lo sabía. Si te miro a los ojos me lleno de alegría. You make me feel so high. Tenemos el mismo vibe. Cuando estamos bailando ya estás sin tocarnos, yo puedo volar. Eres de otro planeta, una energía especial. Gracias universo, somos como el yin yang. Que contigo todo lo que vivo, mi amor, se siente bonito.
You're listening to KZYX, Philo, KZYZ, Willits, and Ukiah, and that's 91.5, 90.7, and 88.1.
Support for KZYX comes from our members and coastal resident Stephen Dunlap of Pacific Blue Vacation Rentals, providing vacation rental management services for property owners along the Mendocino coast. Pacific Blue is a management company offering personalized care for vacation rental for property owners along the Mendocino coast. Pacific Blue is a management company offering personalized care for vacation rental homes. Online at pacificblue.biz.